Happy Thursday, everyone. I am working on today. I always buy all these embellishments and little trinkets downtown that I think are really pretty, but I have no use for them. I always say I'm going to use it for dance costumes, but it just gotten to a point I use them for dance costumes, but now I have a drawer full of them. So I was trying to figure out something to do with them. So what I am working on currently, I just got a bunch of plain white tees and I'm going to repurpose the plain white t-shirts. And so use some of the embellishments I have for the t-shirts. So this is the first one that I've done, and I'm going to do I'll do a different one right now. So this is the first one. I just took the plain white tee and switched the sleeves out. Very easy. So let me switch you around and I'll show you the rest of them that I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Never mind my messy office here. Let's see, let's get this right. Hi, Barbara Parker. I think you do lives at, is it 7 o'clock Pacific time? So I was going to try to catch yours as well. Okay, so I have a bunch of plain white t-shirts, and I have, this is just one bag of my stuff, but I have a whole drawer of stuff that when I'm downtown or just out, I think it's really cute, so I'll get it for costumes or whatever, but I tend to use it, I use it for costumes, but then I always just have extra stuff. Anybody who sews or crafts, you always just have extra stuff. At 7, Barbara. Okay, so I'll watch yours at 7. Okay, so like this. This I found. This would be so cute. You can just put it on a plain white t-shirt. So I always get them with the intention of, oh, I can put it on a t-shirt. I can put it on a sweatshirt. And I'll never use all the stuff I have. But I can at least start. So something like this I can put here. It's an easy way to just change out a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. This one is really cute. So I would end up sewing it on by hand and then just cutting away this netting here. This one, oh, this one I love. Like, look at this one. And then I would cut the t-shirt into a V-neck. What I'll probably do here is just cut this out so that it's a V and then hand stitch this on. So I'll probably end up doing that one. Let's see. This one's really pretty. I love this one. It gives it sort of a tribal look almost. So I'll stitch this on by hand, and then what I'll do is come back and cut away the white that's underneath here. But what I am going to do for now, so those are easy. You can always just add appliques onto a plain t-shirt and stitch them on by hand. Oh, look at these. These are really pretty. I don't know. I'm thinking I might use these on the knees of some jeans. They would be good as elbow patches, or they look good on a shoulder. So I got 2 of them, so I'll figure out what I want to do here. But as you can see, I love sparkly blingy stuff, and these are really pretty. Okay, put this away for a second. So for now, I wanted to switch out the sleeves, and I wanted to use this fabric, but it's a little bit more cream. You know how there are a million whites, there are a million blacks, there are, a million reds. You can't just say red. So even though this is white and this is white, they're 2 different whites, and I would want it to match. So I won't use the white. I'll use the black. I'll use a black tee that I have. So all I will do is find my scissors. Okay, let me put this away. So what I'm going to do actually is just cut off the sleeves from this black tee and then use that sort of as my pattern, just a starting point to make new sleeves. So it's just a plain black t-shirt. I mean, I probably paid all of $5 for it or something. And I'm just going to cut the sleeves here at the seam. Hey, Rosina, UCLA buddy. Okay. So cut the sleeve off, and I'm just going right along the seam here. Okay. And I'm doing one layer at a time so that I don't make a mistake and accidentally cut the shirt. So I'll do this one, and then I will go cut the sleeve off the other one as well, or the other side. Ouch, just cut my finger there. I have so many sewing injuries. Let's see. Okay, almost done. Cut that off. Okay, so you just get your t-shirt, cut the sleeves off, and it's on the wrong side. I have it on the wrong side here, so it'll end up looking like this. So you take the sleeves off and you just have a sleeveless shirt. So I'll set that aside for a minute. And so this is my sleeve, and it's a tiny little thing, but I'll just kind of use this as a guide to cut out my other ones. Okay, and this fabric, I went ahead and cut it for this, but if you get, say, even if you have a half a yard, this is less than a half a yard. This is about, I don't know, maybe a third. But if you get a half a yard of fabric, that's plenty enough. So what I'm going to do, the fabric is already folded. So I'll fold it again so that I'm cutting 2 sleeves. So I'll fold it again. And this will be my bottom. And I'm really just using this as a loose guide. So this is the edge of my sleeve folded. So I'll put it against the edge here. And then my seam will end up being here. And I'm going to cut it out really big because I want to be able to put elastic in it at the bottom. And I want to be able to gather it at the top so that I have a puffy sleeve. So let's see. And it's very loose, like I'm estimating. And if you find that it's too much, too big, you can always come back and just cut it down. So then that would be my sleeve here. And then I will go, let's see if I can figure out what's the right side because they look the same. Okay, that's my right side. So what I'll do is stitch this seam here, the inside of the arm on both sleeves. So if you turn it over like this, you have your curved edge here. I'm going to stitch the inside of the arm here. So let's see. Move my sewing machine over. Hang on, I gotta get the presser foot. I don't know where it is. And today is Thursday. That's good. I'm always looking forward to the weekends, even though I don't necessarily have weekends off. Saturday and Sunday still are just nice. Okay, so this is my inside seam. So I'm going to stitch this. So I'll just do a narrow stitch there. And normally what I would do is finish these seams, like maybe do a zigzag stitch or even do it on my serger so that my seams are sealed so that it doesn't fray, but for the sake of this live, I won't. Hitting my camera. Okay, that's one sleeve. You do the inside seam on the other one. Okay. And then what we do, I want to gather the top edge of it. Let's move this again so you can see. So I want the top of my sleeve gathered. So what I'll do, and like I said, I'm estimating. So I'll say I want my gathers to come over to about here. So I'm just going to put a little slit here on both sleeves so I know when to start and stop my stitching. And I really want my gathers more at the top of the sleeve. So I'll do a long machine stitch here and pull it to make my gathers, and then just adjust it as I need to. Okay. And then to do your gathers, I just need to switch my machine to, let's see, I need a longer stitch, so you can't see that, but that's okay. So right now I'm on stitch 1, and that's just a basic straight stitch, but I want a longer stitch. So just change your stitch length, and that's just going to vary based upon your machine. just stitching along the outside edge, that curved edge there. Doesn't seem to be, I'll change it on the other one. Oh, that thread's getting funky down there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can pull it. Okay. All right, I just wanted to make sure my stitch was loose enough for me to actually pull the threads without breaking them. Okay, I need pins. So I'll set that one aside for a second and go work on my other one. Same thing, here's my little cut that I put there where I want to start. Then I'll turn it to the right side. And let's see. Raven's trying to like do some sign language. What do you want? The blow dryer. It might actually be in this bathroom because when Anne was here, she used it. Hang on one second. I have to unlock the door for her so she can get to the other bathroom. I'll be right back. You know how you lock doors and try to do stuff to do a live video, but it doesn't matter. Your family, if they need you, they're still going to call you. Oh, I don't know. Okay. So what I want to do before I gather it, I want to find my center. So I'm going to fold my sleeve in half, and that will be the center of my sleeve because I want to line it up with the center of my shirt, the armhole seam, the top, the shoulder seam. Sorry, they're getting me discombobulated. I want to line up my sleeve seam, the middle seam, with my shoulder seam on the shirt. So that's the middle there. Okay. Let me turn it to the right side. So, and I just lost my pen. Okay, here, let's see. Okay, this is my right side. Okay, and then I want to just pull my thread so that I gather it. And I almost pulled two. That would break it. Let me just pull one. And just kind of pull your threads and push it along to gather it. This stitch is actually a little tighter than I would want it to be, but it'll work. Okay, and let me go do the other side. Where's the thread? Okay. So if you pull your stitching like that, you can see you have that creates the gathers for you, and it's a puffy sleeve. So that's the top of one, and then the bottom I'll do elastic. So the other one, let me do that one. You just want to find your thread here at the end and pull it. Okay. This one I did a looser stitch, so yeah, that one's much better. And then you just sew it to your shirt. And so this is the right side of my shirt here. I want to match up the right side of the sleeve with it. So I'll put the sleeve inside the armhole of my shirt. Okay, and match up your seams first, and everything else you can just sort of stretch it to fit. Okay, so this is the middle of my sleeve. I'm going to match it up with my side seam here. And I'll be sewing on the side where the gathers are. That way I can see and then adjust it if I need to. And normally with a stretch fabric, you can use, like there's a different thread you could use for it, like a woolly nylon. You would switch your bobbin thread to it. You can do a twin needle stitch. There's stretch stitches on my machine. I'm not doing all that. I'll just do like a zigzag stitch, and that'll give it a little bit more give. Okay. Oh, Barbara, this is your first time catching my live. I know, I try to do them at least once a week, but, you know, life. And I try to be, you know, quick. I don't want to, like, bore anybody to death, so trying to do this fairly quickly, but still explain it. Okay, here's the seam of my sleeve. I'm gonna match it up. Here's the middle of my sleeve. I'm matching it up with the sides, the top seam of my shirt, shoulder seam with the middle of the sleeve. Okay. And then I'll just sort of stretch this. Where are my other pins? Hang on. Okay, so once you get your sleeve all pinned to the inside, it's gonna look like this. Your sleeve is pinned to the inside, and then you just want to stitch around that seam. And like I said, I'll do a zigzag stitch because the zigzag will give me a little bit more give. I'll switch to 4 is a zigzag stitch on my machine. Okay. And I always start at my underarm seam, the side seam here. So I'm going to start here. Take my pin out. Grab my pin out here. Tighter zigzag, or a little shorter so that it's not so wide. Okay. And I'm getting up towards the top. I just kind of want to move my gathers a little bit so that it's more puffy at this shoulder and not, you know, all the way through. Grab my pen out of here. And back at my seam. Take that out. And go do your other sleeve. And like I said, if this were, you know, what I'll do is come back and probably I may do a surgeon stitch around it just so my seams are nice and finished, or normally just trim it into a zigzag stitch. But for the sake of this video, I'll keep going. And this is an easy way. If you know how to sew a little bit, you can easily switch out the sleeves on a plain t-shirt and just change the look of it. And I know, like off the top of my head, I can think of about 5 different ways to switch out a t-shirt. We've done a few in sewing class with the kids, but I can't do them all here on the live. This would be way too long. But if you're on my email list, this is what I'm sending out to my email customers this month is 5 or 6 ways to switch out a t-shirt. So you would just go to Yolanda@SewContagious.com to sign up, or just subscribe to the email list here on my Facebook page. And that way I can send you the completed videos. Almost done here. Just go all the way down. Make sure you take your pins out if you put them in. Okay, just turn it to the right side. See what it looks like. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the mannequin. I keep hitting this. I'm gonna put it on the mannequin so I can see what it looks like. Okay, here's the one I did earlier. And my poor mannequin is on his last leg. I need to get a better one. This is one of those little ones from Joann's. I need a real dressmaker mannequin, but they're kind of expensive, so gotta look around for one. Okay, let me turn this to the right side. Might be able to find one. Sometimes Fit 'em has them there because they get them from you know, the design school, and I can get a good one for not so expensive. Okay, so here's this. I would remove my threads. Then what I'm gonna do, what I'll end up doing, I'll put elastic. I'll create a casing here. You could leave it like that if you wanted to. I don't want to. I'm going to create a casing. I'll turn this under and make myself a casing so that I can insert elastic in it. And so my sleeves will end up looking like that. Let's see. All right, so pretty cute. I think pretty darn easy. So you could easily do that. So leave me a message in the comments and let me know if you've ever upcycled a t-shirt, or if you think this is something that you could do. And like I said, if you want completed instructions, I'm going to put elastic in here to create a casing. And then I have about 5 more examples of how you could easily switch out a t-shirt. So just sign up on our email list, or visit the website, and I'll get that out to you. Thanks, and you guys have a great weekend.